Welcome to ETS Silat. This lesson is going to be all about Silat martial arts takedowns. So this is going to break down like this. We're going to say that we ended up getting, the way takedowns work are, I'm not going to just out of nowhere be able to pull off some kind of freakish takedown. Takedowns happen when you get in close on your opponent. Okay, so if he's punching in, right, and somehow we're in close here, right, and I'm able to step behind my opponent, we do what is called a beset or a back foot sweep. So I'm here and here. I sweep back and I follow through. Okay, again, got it. Come on this side. So what you're doing is, you just stand here. So when I step through, I'm like this, I sweep back like this. So I'm here, I'm getting close with my opponent, sweep back, all right? So he punches in, we're in close, right? Somehow we end up like this, I sweep and pull him down. Now when I take him down, I wanna at least hold on to something. So if he tries to roll, I can at least maintain this grip here while I'm striking here, right? He tries to kick in, I might wanna take this, roll here, and just move along and take care of business, okay? All right. Okay, so once we end up getting in close on your opponent, he's got his back to me. This might not play out like that, right? He might not have his back to me, but if I'm somehow able to get on the side of him like this and take him down, when I take him down, I want to try to maintain some kind of grappling here, all right? Where I have my shin into his neck and maybe I grapple his arm here. But I'm not holding on very long, all right? Because if I'm grappling him, I got to worry about his partner coming up from behind me and stabbing me or punching me in the head or breaking a beer bottle over my head. So as soon as I take him down, finish him off, boom, and I roll, and I'm ready to do whatever I need to do to survive. So takedowns are not the easiest to pull off. But if you find yourself in that situation where you're in nice and close on somebody and you're able to pull that back sweep or that rear sweep takedown, we call it a beset. Make it happen, okay? And that's all about Silat martial arts takedowns. So let's talk key points in how we're going to maintain adhesion to our opponent, okay? So again, once let's take it from this angle here. So once we get in, we're moving, I find myself in this position here, I take him down. I maintain this grip by keeping his arm underneath my armpit. So I almost like pinch it here, okay? As soon as I do that, I want to maintain that control. So I maintain that control by pressing my thumb into the brachial nerve, and I actually pull up at the same time. Because now if he decides to roll this way, I might step through this way. And now I have him locked in place there. Or I might step all the way through this way and break his arm this way. Okay? So again, the way we maintain that, let's try maybe from this view here. He comes in, boom, I'm out of the way here. I step through, I take him down here. See how I maintain this arm? You can see the hand and the arm underneath my armpit here. The shin is driving into his neck, okay? So I pull up. If he decides to move, I just step through this way and I pull forward. Now I sit on his arm or step on his arm and I put this here, right? I hook the hand and my arm here. I pull up and there's my break. If he moves, I just apply more pressure, okay? That's some of the subtleties in the beset takedown. Okay, let's talk about the variation to this takedown now. Okay, when he comes in, right, and I'm in here, right, I can come where I put my hand to his shoulder like I showed the first takedown where I come here and I sweep this way. But what we're gonna do is when I come in, we're here, I get this out of the way, I come right to the face here. So all I do is I take him over that back leg, sweep him down here, and drive down with that elbow. As soon as I drive down this way, I roll down this way, this one. All right? So it's real simple. Comes in, get this out of the way, step behind here. The fingers can bend and go straight to his eyes, okay? But as soon as I take them down, boom, drive with that elbow, turn with this elbow here, okay? One time from this view, comes in, here, sweep, take them down, drive, elbow. And then I roll back here, okay? That's Silat martial arts takedown variation number 2. Okay, let's take this a little further and a little deeper, all right? There's a couple different ways we can do this takedown. It could be done where when he comes in, I get this out of the way, I step behind him and I take him over the leg here, okay? The second way I can do it is if he comes in, it's a little bit more fluid. Now I come in through and I step with the beset and I actually add the power to it. And again, all you're doing, as soon as he goes down, boom, I drive down with that elbow and you immediately put this arm underneath your body here and turn and drive. And this knee comes back here, protecting my face. If another opponent's coming this way, I can stop him here with a kick. All right? If I have to roll out of it, I can roll out of it this way. And now I'm in a 3-point. All right? Let's talk takedown number 2. Again, these are all situational dependent. They are never going to always play out the same twice, 3 times, 4 times. It's just all how the situation rolls. So let's just say the situation just rolled in my favor. He stepped in, he punched. First thing I do is I want to get out of the way and check this arm here and drive this forearm to his neck. As I step through here, I drive back here and I take his head off with my shin. Okay? So one more time. 1, 2, here. I step, sweep, shin. And after I step down with that shin, I step through and then I drive with that elbow. Okay? Again, this is a perfect world scenario, right? It's all situational. He might not fall that way, so I might have to alter my kick, okay? But again, if I go slow, 1, 2, 3, 4, step through, elbow. Okay, if I get it from this way, this angle here, comes in, I step here, sweep, kick, step through, elbow. Okay? Over here. Takedowns need to be repped out. You have to rep them out over and over and over to even make them work. Otherwise, you're going to get hurt. So we practice, we pressure test these, but you have to show them in slow motion in order to get the movement. And then we pressure test and we see what works, what doesn't work. It might not play out in that same fashion and we just did it. So we take the movement from in the Rolodex and we use what we need, when we need it, how we need it. Okay, let's pick this apart a little further, okay? Perfect world, right? We just said he punches in, I'm here, and I stop it here. But what if he punches in and then he throws that other punch? Here is where I need to make sure that this live hand or backhand parries that punch, all right? So he comes in, I go 1, 2, I step through, I take him down. Now look, see how he's laying down? His head isn't up, so it's gonna be really hard to take that head like I showed in the earlier technique. So what I have to do is now I sink down a little lower and I strike in with this shin, and the shin drives across his body. So it impales here, drives across the body and drives into the neck and head. So boom, I smash, I step through, drop down with that elbow. Okay? So what if he doesn't throw that punch, but he's situated like this, where this hand's almost like out a little further as opposed to being here where I could get this parry and just say it's here for a second. I can get this parry and I can stop. I can check him off here, right? But if it's here, now what I want to do is I get this out of the way. I grab this out of the way first. Then I take him down there. I can kick to the groin, head here. I can come through here, break, right? Lock him in place here. But this break does the trick here. Boom. Break, roll back, elbow, knee. Okay? So there's many options. That's why I said earlier, things are not going to play out the way we want them to play out all the time. So we have to play different scenarios of how we can go from plan A and pull out that rainy day maneuver in the back pocket and go to plan B. All right, let's get it from this angle here. So he's in this position here. So again, I talked about earlier, I can get this parry to the inside and this immediately checks this hand here. I step through, I take him down. He goes down, his head is up. I can whack his head with my shin and step through and go into that elbow. If we do that same scenario, he comes in, 1, 2, I check it here. I take him down, he's down to the ground, impale him with the shin like this. Then I step through an elbow. Or, one more time, he comes in, I'm here, I step through, I take him down, I hold on to this, his arm is up still, so if I come this way, bang, drive in here, I can yoke this arm, right? And drive in with that elbow. I can go back and elbow. Okay? Takedown number 3. Okay, so this takedown is can happen 2 different ways. I'll show you the first version or option that you can utilize here. All right, so if he punches in, I'm out of the way, I step out of the way here, my right leg is going to come sweeping this way. As soon as I sweep that way, I drive back in with that back kick, knee, punch. Okay? One more time, slow. He comes in, 1, 2, boom, sweep that out, kick, knee, elbow, punch. All right, so let's get it from this angle. Comes in, 1, 2, sweep him out, kick, knee, punch. All right, now obviously be aware of if he can grab you from this position, but you got to remember this kick, this takedown, put your foot forward, is going right here. It is super sensitive, filled rich with nerves, tendons, ligaments, muscle, and it hurts like a son of a bitch when you get kicked there with your shin. Trust me. All right, so the next variation is, say he throws that right, I get it out of the way, but then he steps in with that left, and I'm here. So now my foot is situated this way. Now I'm going to step through this way and sweep him that way. Okay? I can drop down with his knee here. Okay? Take the groin. Go back to that kick we did earlier. Right? So I took that groin here. Boom. Drag that shin across his body here. And obviously he's playing nice right now. He's not moving around. None of that stuff. Okay? So we have to factor in my opponent's not going to just lay there for me. It's just going to be done super quick. I might only get just the takedown, and then I need to go to plan B and just start attacking and hitting everything that moves, okay? One more time from this angle. He comes in, I move, I'm here, sweep, shin to here. I trap him there. Get a quick punch here. If I have to move for some reason, if I'm on concrete, I'm not going to roll. But if I'm in like grass or on the beach or something, I might just roll out of here and open up in case there's multiple opponents coming, all right? Or I could be in that same position down low here, and I might just angle out this way, depending on terrain. We have to factor in if it's on concrete, if there's a bunch of rocks on the ground, if you're in a bar, somebody might have broke a bottle, there's glass all over the ground. So you have to factor in terrain before you start pulling off anything like that. Okay, let's pick apart the nuances of this takedown. So remember, the first option was when he steps in on me, I get this out of the way, boom, I may blind the eyes, and I impale with my shin on the inside of his leg right here, on the soft part of his leg. Boom. All right. That's the high detail of that, right? Boom. On the other one is where he comes in, he punches, I get out of the way, he comes here, I'm out of the way here. I might have to hook, I'll do like it's like an impact kick with my shin on the inside of his leg here, but then it's pulling up like this. So it does this movement, 1, 2. All right, so you stand up, and one more time. I'm out here, boom, here, bang, up, and that's how I'm gonna make that takedown happen. I impact the with my shin, but then it scoops and throws his leg that way. Remember, for that one, you're going to make contact with your shin. So it's very important that if you haven't checked out some of my earlier videos, I've done conditioning videos where we work on conditioning the shins, we work on conditioning the forearms. You have to be built like steel, where if you do make that impact and you do happen to hit some bone, it's going to hurt him more than it's going to hurt you because you've conditioned yourself to the point where you don't feel it as much anymore. You'll probably bruise and you won't feel it in the time of impact because you got that epi dump going with the fight, right? Everything, endorphins, the whole 9 yards. So you're not even going to be thinking, okay? But you'll feel it after the fight, obviously. All right? So that's your taste of Silat martial arts takedowns, specifically in ETS Silat. Hopefully you enjoyed the content and there'll be more future videos to come. Thank you. Train hard, stay safe.